day Ethan Cole, the king of my high school, got married, my girlfriend jumped into the ocean. Just like that, the woman I'd spent more than a decade with, the one I thought I knew inside and out, had been in love with someone else the entire time. In her final note, she didn't even mention my name. While sorting through her belongings, I found a hidden folder on her laptop. It was filled with photos of Ethan, diary entries overflowing with a desperate, unrequited love for him, and even songs she'd written for him. Every day without you is a sleepless night. And then I woke up, back in high school. When Ethan called on the entire class to ice her out, I looked away. I didn't step in. But this time, she cornered me, her voice trembling with despair. "Why aren't you helping me this time?" Anna Vance, the brilliant indie singer-songwriter, had just released a new song. The lyrics were so pointed, so specific, that during an interview, everyone was asking if it was about someone she loved. A small, cold smile touched her lips as her gaze found the camera. "I wish him happiness." A reporter, sensing a story, pushed further. "Does wishing him happiness mean you're finally marrying Noah Carter?" I am Noah Carter. From a cramped basement apartment to a gleaming mansion in the Hollywood Hills, we had been together for over a decade. It wasn't a secret in the industry. In the video, Anna just looked momentarily startled at the mention of my name. She didn't answer the reporter. She just said, "This interview is over," and was escorted away by her staff. Watching the interview fizzle out, I remembered something I'd read online. If you've been with someone for years and still aren't married, you probably never will be. I never thought that would be us, but it was. We would never get married because she was gone. On a large rock by the shore, they found an old phone. The screen was open to a text conversation with Ethan Cole. A final, unsent message. "I love you." Anna was a foster kid. With her gone, I was the only one left to handle her affairs. She must have seen this coming, because her will was meticulously prepared. She said she loved children, so her savings went to a children's charity. She said she never had a real home, so her properties were donated to the state. She said she had a love she could never speak of, and in death, she could finally be brave. She even remembered a girl from her record label who brought her fruit once, leaving her a small token of gratitude. But for me, the man who had stood by her for all those years, there was nothing. Not a single word. It was as if my presence in her life was completely insignificant. I moved like a puppet, a hollowed-out man, taking care of everything. Then, in a dusty bookshelf, I found an old laptop. I opened a folder on it, and my world collapsed. It was filled with pictures of a boy from our high school, Ethan Cole. She had named the folder E. My heart hammered against my ribs. I counted them, my hands shaking. There were 520 photos. They hadn't spoken since graduation. I clicked through them, one by one. Some still had the faint watermarks of social media profiles. The earliest was a picture of Ethan taking a bow after performing at the freshman welcome assembly. The most recent was a professional shot from his wedding announcement. I finally understood who her new song, "The Boy on Stage," was about. A line from the lyrics echoed in my mind. "Every day without you is a sleepless night." It was her confession to the world. And I finally understood what "I wish him happiness" really meant. My heart felt like it was being squeezed in a fist, each pulse a sharp, stabbing pain. At the end of the photo gallery was a document, a journal she started in her freshman year, detailing her secret love for Ethan. It was a joke, a cruel, twisted joke. Ethan had bullied her from day one. He called her a charity case, cornered her in the girls' bathroom, doused her with cold water, had his friends jump her in the alley after school, cut up her clothes, and forced her to do his homework. And I, like an idiot, had stepped in every single time. I was the one who saved her, who helped her get back to a normal life. She never mentioned any of that in her journal. The only thing she wrote about was a rainy day when Ethan, in a rare moment that was probably just another prank, offered her his umbrella. She wrote that in that moment, the world went silent, and all she could see was his handsome back as he walked away. That image was enough to fuel a lifetime of obsession. She only became a singer because Ethan, while mocking her, found a notebook of her lyrics. He read them out loud to the entire class, all those raw, embarrassing words, and then sneered, "Not just any stray can become a star." Instead of feeling humiliated, she was inspired. She wanted to stand on the highest stage in the world just so he might see her. My eyes burned. All those years, I was nothing more than a placeholder, not even worthy of a name in her private world. I trembled as I read the last line Anna had typed. If I have another life, I'll be brave. Tears blur my vision. If I have another life, I'm staying the hell out of it. Go get a true love. When I opened my eyes, Anna Vance was introducing herself at the front of the classroom. The teacher was about to assign her the empty seat next to me. I froze for a second, then shot my hand up. Mr. Harrison, I'd rather not. Yes, I was back. Freshman year. The year Anna began her obsession with her bully, Ethan. This time, I wouldn't help her. On the stage, Anna hadn't expected my rejection. Her face flushed, a mixture of shock and hurt flashing in her eyes. The teacher, confused by my outburst, paused. Noah, is there a reason why? Because I wanted nothing to do with Anna Vance. I wouldn't get tangled up with that thankless user again. She gives me bad vibes, I said, my voice steady, the lies sounding completely serious. The teacher stared, then chided me for being superstitious. But he still let her sit with Ethan Cole instead. As she walked to her new seat, I saw Ethan roll his eyes and dramatically scoot his desk away from her. He muttered 3 words, just loud enough for me to hear. Charity case. At this point, Anna was still in the foster system, working part-time jobs after school. She was small for her age, thin and underdeveloped. Her clothes, though clean, were faded and patched, the styles years out of date. Last time, she was my desk mate, and Ethan sat in front of us. When he called her a charity case, I kicked his chair and told him to shut his mouth. I knew that if bullying starts and no one intervenes, it only gets worse. Back then, I didn't have a crush on Anna. I just couldn't stand seeing someone get picked on. But this time, watching Ethan's petty cruelty, I said nothing. I felt her back stiffen, and for a second, I had the strange feeling she was about to look back at me. I kept my head down, staring at my textbook. After the initial disorientation, I adapted to my new reality within a few days. As an adult, I had often regretted bombing my SATs and not getting into my dream university. This was a gift, a second chance, and I wasn't going to waste it. I had no intention of getting involved in whatever twisted dynamic Anna and Ethan had. What kind of person falls for their abuser and obsesses over them? A masochist, that's who. So when I saw Ethan and his cronies cornering Anna by the boys' bathroom after school, I just washed my hands and walked out, not even giving them a second glance. Don't you know how disgusting you are? You stink, seriously. Anna, what is that, B.O.? Don't they have showers at the group home? Guess we'll have to give you one. The filthy words spilled out of Ethan's mouth. Last time, I couldn't understand how the most popular guy in school could be such a monster. I had rushed in front of her, shielding her from them. I got into a screaming match with Ethan until he stormed off, and the bucket of cold water never touched her. I told her then, you have to learn to fight back. No one is going to save you every time. She had whispered, thank you, but I never noticed that her eyes were following Ethan as he walked away. Looking back, maybe she enjoyed the attention. So this time, I walked straight for the exit. Halfway there, I heard the splash. I didn't stop, didn't look back. I just kept walking. Then I heard Anna's raw, desperate scream. I walked faster. Not watching where I was going, I slammed right into someone, knocking a girl to the ground. Hey, watch it. The girl on the floor squinted, rubbing her forehead. Terrified that Anna would come running out and see me, I mumbled an apology and took off. Without my help, Anna's life was a living hell. Teenagers are sensitive and insecure, and her proud, silent nature made her an easy target. She never fought back, no matter how bad it got. Ethan seemed to enjoy grinding her into the dust, his methods becoming more creative. But lately, he had backed off a bit, busy preparing for his performance at the freshman welcome assembly. The first photo in Anna's secret folder was of him accepting an award that night. I wasn't interested in that stuff, so I skipped it this time. I assumed Anna wouldn't miss a chance to see her crush, but to my surprise, she didn't go either. I saw her sitting alone in the empty classroom as I packed my bag to go home. Noah Carter. As I zipped up my backpack, she turned to face me. Her brow was furrowed, like she was holding back a storm of emotions. Desperate, to prove something. In all the years we were together in my past life, she was rarely emotional. Even during our most intimate moments, she was always distant. One of the few times she lost her composure was when she confessed her feelings to me after high school graduation. The young girl's gaze was so sincere, so intense. The words, "Will you be my boyfriend?" seemed to take all her strength. She stared at me, her hands twisting the hem of her shirt, her eyes full of a love so deep it scared her. Now, seeing that same look on her younger face, I just felt sick. Maybe even back then, she was just looking at me and seeing someone else. I gave her a flat, indifferent look and walked out of the room, leaving her standing there in a sea of empty desks. Ethan cornered Anna again, this time in the alley behind the school, my usual shortcut home. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I saw a flicker of hope in Anna's eyes when she saw me. Was she expecting me to save her like last time? Not a chance. I glanced over, then immediately looked away. Ethan was obsessed with tormenting her. "Charity case, what's it you're holding so tight?" he sneered. "You're such a freak. Is that something of mine?" Anna gritted her teeth, silent. Frustrated, Ethan reached for it. "Did you steal something from me, you psycho?" Suddenly, Anna reacted, shoving Ethan away. But her eyes were locked on me. "It's not yours," she said, her voice low and fierce. "If you break it, I'll kill you." I kept my eyes fixed forward and walked on, my stride as determined as a soldier's. The tiny spark of light in Anna's eyes died as she watched me go. I heard the sickening thud of a fist hitting flesh and her muffled cry. I didn't turn back. In my peripheral vision, I saw her clutching the object in her hand for dear life. Just as I exited the alley, I found someone else in the next one. A girl with cuts on her face was slumped against the wall, her clothes stained with blood. Not another one. This alley must be bad luck. I'll take a different route next time. As I thought this, she spoke. "Hey, you just going to leave me here?" I stopped. I've read enough stories to know you don't pick up strange women on the side of the road, especially not pretty, fiery ones. Besides, after saving Anna time and time again only to be forgotten, why should I get involved? I pretended not to see her. As I started to walk away, she looked me up and down. "Tough crowd," she scoffed. "Can't even help a girl up? You knocked me over the other day, you know. My butt still hurts." I pulled out my phone. "I can call 911 for you." She raised an eyebrow. "You're something else." "Thanks. You seem to be talking fine. I don't think you're that hurt." "I'm not kidding. I'm about to pass out. Just help me up. We go to the same school. I'm not going to sue you." When I still didn't move, she let out an exasperated laugh. "What's with the paranoia? You think I'm going to stab you or something?" "You have a wild imagination," she said, pulling her student ID from her pocket and tossing it at me. "Maya Vance. Grade 9, Class 3. I bent down, picked it up. "Okay, same school." "Fine. Get up." "Then what?" "My brother's waiting. My leg is killing me." I finally noticed the blood seeping through her jeans. I still hesitated. The whole thing with Anna had left me with some serious trust issues. "What are you waiting for, dude?" "I'm fading here." I sighed, walked over, and slung her arm over my shoulder, pulling her to her feet. As we reached the mouth of the alley, we saw Anna. Her face was as bruised as Maya's. Her gaze lingered on me for a long moment, then shifted to Maya, who was leaning heavily against me. I could almost see her composure cracking piece by piece. I remember the last time this happened. I had run into the street screaming fire to draw a crowd and scare Ethan's friend away. I was the one who helped her up, asked if she was okay, took her to the ER, and stayed with her all day. It wasn't because I liked her back then. I was just a decent person. But my future self learned a hard lesson. Being a good guy gets you nothing. Not even a thank you. So this time, I was revoking my kindness. "Noah Carter." Anna's voice was hoarse, with a tremor she couldn't hide. "You helped her?" I looked at her calmly, my brow slightly furrowed. She took a shaky step forward, her small frame trembling. Confused, I watched as she held out her hand. In her palm was a student ID card. Mine, the one she had been protecting so fiercely. It was cracked and bent beyond repair. She looked at me, her expression a desperate, pleading mess, as if I were her last hope. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Why didn't you help me this time?" For a split second, I thought I was seeing things. This wasn't the Anna I knew. The Anna I knew was gloomy, silent, cold, and humorless. The Anna I knew was in love with Ethan Cole. This was the third time she had spoken to me since I came back, but it didn't change the fact that she had died without leaving me a single word. She was cruel. My life with her had been a footnote in her obsession with someone else. So the look I gave her was just as cold. Do I know you? Last time, she had asked me the same question. I thought she was just embarrassed to be seen at her lowest point. I told her, we're desk mates. I want to help you. Now I realize she probably never wanted my help in the first place. On all those sleepless nights after I came back, I kept asking myself, did I do something wrong? Now, I hadn't helped her, but I had helped someone else. I didn't know what she was thinking, but a quote I once read came to mind. I want you to watch, wide awake, as I choose to save someone else, as I let you fall again and again, letting hope build you up only to watch you crumble in the dark. So let her think whatever she wants. The more twisted, the better. Anna's mouth hung open, her chest heaving, her face pale. She looked like she wanted to accuse me, to say that even as a classmate, I shouldn't have just walked away. But the girl leaning on me cut her off. Quit the drama, okay? We're in a hurry. Maya's voice was sharp. Noah, if we don't go now, I'm going to collapse. Even injured and needing support, Maya's fiery spirit was undiminished. Her words made Anna flinch. She looked at me, her eyes red-rimmed and trembling. I wanted to get this over with too. Let's go, I said to Maya. I'll take you to the hospital. At my words, Anna's frail figure swayed, looking like a gust of wind could blow her over. As we left, Maya glanced back at Anna. Dude, the way she looks at you is seriously creepy. You should stay away from her. In the taxi, Maya suddenly spoke up. Unlike me, I'm pretty, my family's great, and I'm not complicated. I turned to look at her bright, defiant face. Then how'd you get so beat up? Maya puffed out her chest like an offended peacock. Please, it was me against a whole group of them. They look way worse than I do. Trust me, this is just a scratch. So if it's just a scratch, you don't need to go to the hospital. Maya froze, then immediately slumped against the window, looking weak. No, Imdizi. My blood sugar is dropping. I think I'm going to faint. My silence was deafening. I sighed and handed her a chocolate bar from my pocket. She took it, her face lighting up. As she took a bite, the tips of her ears turned red. As I was leaving the hospital, Maya grabbed my sleeve. Hey, give me your number. You're my hero, you know. I owe you dinner when I get out of here. She grinned. I'm Maya Vance from Class 3. Don't forget me. I'm going to test into your honors class next year. I'm a physics whiz. I paused. The name sounded familiar. I remembered seeing in my past life on a news article about research into parallel universes. She was the author of the paper, but the story was buried by the media frenzy over Anna's suicide. The internet, along with the news, dug up everything about Ethan. People thought Anna was beautiful and tragic, and they started writing fanfiction about her and Ethan, painting her as a romantic martyr who died for love. I was cast as the villain, the evil boyfriend who stood in their way. I heard it all, but with Anna gone, I had no way to defend myself. Hateful messages flooded my social media accounts. They said I drove her to it so I could inherit her company and her fortune, conveniently forgetting that her will left me with nothing. Not even a goodbye. She was so selfish. As I reached the door, Maya called out to me again. Noah Carter, you're only a freshman. You've got so many chances. I turned. She raised an eyebrow. You can live this life any way you want. I was about to say something, but she just gave me a huge, brilliant smile. I believe in you. I had to admit, her smile was infectious. It was genuine, warm, and full of life, the complete opposite of Anna. If Anna lived in the shadows, Maya was bathed in sunlight. When I got back to the hospital entrance, I saw Anna. I don't know when she followed me. She was staring at me, her eyes filled with a dark, hostile energy, yet also a strange, cautious plea. I came to give you back your ID. She held out the cracked student ID, the one she had somehow found. It was broken, just like whatever was between us. People bustled in and out of the hospital doors, but I stood frozen. From what she'd said in the alley, a suspicion had been growing in my mind. Maybe she, like me, had come back. I was just curious why she was so fixated on me now. After thinking it over, I came to one conclusion. Anna was messed up. Her obsession with her bully proved she had Stockholm Syndrome. Her chasing after me now proved she was a glutton for punishment. Or maybe she just wanted to have her cake and eat it too. As she looked at me with hopeful eyes, I made no move to take the ID. I just said flatly, "Anna, we're just classmates. You're crossing a line." She froze, her lips turning white. It took her a moment to find her voice, which came out as a choked whisper. "Are you going to abandon me?" Suddenly, I remembered a time, long ago, before her talent was fully recognized. I was the one working tutoring jobs, taking on side gigs, using my own living expenses to support her dream, to pay for her competition entry fees. After one too many rejections, when everyone told her she wasn't good enough, she saw me packing a suitcase. She broke down, grabbing my arm, her voice trembling and hoarse. "Are you going to abandon me?" She looked so fragile, like she would shatter at the slightest touch. I had pulled her into a hug. "No, I'd never. I'm just going on a business trip. I'm going to show you the world. I'm going to pull you out of the darkness and into the light." This time, I looked into her expectant eyes and said calmly, "It's a broken piece of plastic. It's trash. Of course I'm abandoning it." Anna looked as if her entire world had just collapsed. She stumbled, barely able to stand. As I walked past her, I added, "Stop bothering me." The school days flew by. Maya, still in the hospital, somehow found the time to text me constantly. I rarely replied, unless I couldn't help it. Like the message she just sent, "Legs all better." "Thanks, Noah." I stared at the selfie she sent along with it. I couldn't resist. "If your leg is better, why are you sending a picture of your face?" A long pause, then a reply. "Oops, wrong pic. My bad. Can't unsend it now." "Yeah, right." During this time, Anna seemed to be busy with something else. She didn't bother me. I soon found out why. After Maya returned to school, someone reported her for fighting and assault. I was in the principal's office when I overheard them questioning her. When she saw me, she stood her ground. I didn't assault anyone. It was self-defense. I got hurt too. I thought for a moment, then walked over. "Sir, I can vouch for her. I was the one who took Maya to the hospital that day." The principal kept her for more questions. I left with a stack of homework, but I ran into Anna around the corner. I ignored her, but she blocked my path. A person like her is just a delinquent. Do you know what her reputation was like in middle school? Why are you helping her? What's it to you? I suddenly remembered the look Anna gave Maya that day. You reported her, didn't you? Anna, you're a real piece of work. She didn't even flinch. Noah, she's not worth it. I scoffed. I don't need you to tell me who is. Back in class, I got a text from Maya. Do you believe me? I replied yes. The incident ended with Maya having to read a self-criticism essay at the school assembly. She texted me that day. At least I didn't get suspended. That would have been a disaster. I sent back a question mark. She just laughed it off. It's nothing. I didn't press it. Meanwhile, Ethan's bullying of Anna continued. But she never said a word, just kept looking at me with those pitiful eyes, as if searching for any sign of a reaction. I just pretended she didn't exist. I didn't get it. If Anna had her memories, she should know about her own talent, know that she had a way out. But she did nothing to fight back. It was like she was deliberately trying to look pathetic, trying to trigger my protective instincts. It wasn't going to work. I was too busy drowning myself in textbooks, trying to get on the path I was supposed to be on. Maya, under the guise of asking for help with homework, was a constant presence by my side. As expected, I was at the top of our class. If I hadn't bombed my SATs last time, I would have been in a research lab, not majoring in computer science, just to make more money for my life with Anna. At the start of sophomore year, a familiar face became my desk mate. Maya was grinning from ear to ear. Yes, I get to sit with the genius. In the row in front of us, Anna, hearing this, just clenched her fists tighter. Soon, the rainy night she wrote about, the one where she fell for Ethan's back, arrived. To avoid her, I took a different route home, but I still ran into her. She wasn't holding an umbrella. The rain was coming down hard. We stood on opposite sides of the street, staring at each other through the downpour. I immediately turned to go another way, but she called out my name. Noah Carter. I ignored her and walked faster, but she ran to block my path. The rain soaked her thin shirt, plastering it to her skinny frame. Water streamed down her face, obscuring her expression. I stood there, holding my umbrella, with no intention of sharing it. People on the street gave us strange looks. She didn't seem to care. She just stared at me. I suddenly remembered a time I went with her to an original song competition. She was supposed to perform a song we had practiced for weeks, but the last minute, she switched to a new one, a song about a shy, budding romance. She even messed up a few chords. After she finished, she announced to the audience, "This song is for a boy here tonight." I forgot that Ethan was also in the audience that day, dragged there by a friend. How could she accept my unwavering support while giving her heart so completely to someone else? "Why are you avoiding me?" Anna's voice was a strained whisper, so quiet I could barely hear it over the rain. "You'd rather help a stranger than even look at me." She took a step closer. "Maya has everything. She doesn't need your charity." Charity? So that's what she thought my help was. It finally clicked. Anna never loved me. To her, my help was just a game, a rich kid's pity for the poor foster girl, a self-righteous act of salvation. She thought our relationship was unequal, so she became obsessed with Ethan, the boy who tormented her, who never pitied her, who looked down on her. But she forgot one crucial thing. In the past, my protection shielded her from any real harm from Ethan. This time, Ethan had trampled all over her pride, showing her he wasn't the person she had built up in her head. And because I had stayed out of it, she somehow saw me as an equal, someone who understood her darkness. I finally realized it. Someone like Anna doesn't deserve a hand pulling her out of the darkness. She wants someone as broken as she is, someone who will wallow in the shadows with her. And that wasn't me. Her body swayed. Her voice was almost inaudible. "Why do you hate me so much?" "Anna, let me correct you. I don't hate you. I just don't think about you at all." My love and hate for her had long since faded. Her words didn't stir anything in me anymore. A flicker of light appeared in her eyes, but I quickly extinguished it. "You were just a passing phase in my life. You're not worth any strong emotions." Anna panicked. The composure on her face shattered. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. She desperately searched my eyes for any trace of love. Unfortunately for her, there was none. So she tried to play the sympathy card. "But you love me so much. You even gave up your dream major for me." That was because I had a medical emergency during the SATs and didn't finish the essay section. I didn't get in my first choice school. Life presented other options, and you just happened to be one of them. I was done playing games. I looked at her and said slowly, "When I loved you, it was without reservation. I never thought of it as saving you. My love was fierce and unconditional. Everyone knew you were my world." I knew she was starved for affection. It turns out she was also starved for common sense. Hearing the word love from my lips, a hint of triumph flickered in her eyes. "I knew you still loved me." I said loved, I cut in. Past tense. "Now, you're just a stranger to me." She froze, her eyes slowly turning red. Ethan and I, there was nothing. To think she had a folder of hundreds of his photos. I was getting annoyed. "You don't have to explain anything to me." Anna's face fell. But this time, nothing happened. "I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you still like this?" I laughed coldly. She had the nerve to ask me why. After more than a decade together, my girlfriend was secretly obsessed with another man. Did it matter if she didn't physically cheat? She made me a laughingstock to the entire world. Did she expect me to thank her for her restraint? Her expression was so cold, so detached. Anna reached for me. "That's not what I meant. None of that has happened yet. Why can't you just look at me? Just once." I stepped back, avoiding her touch. "Because, Anna, you're not worthy of it." Her hand hung in the air. After a long moment, a twisted smile appeared on her face. "Is it because of Maya? You saved her, so I'll destroy her. She was a lunatic. I should have known. Last time, I was the one who kept her stable. This time, without me, she was completely unhinged." I stopped her. "Anna, the water bottle you gave me before the SATs last time, you put something in it, didn't you?" The rain had stopped. I had wondered about it before. My grades were always consistent. I hadn't eaten anything unusual. Why, during the most important exam of my life, would I suddenly be hit with crippling stomach cramps so bad that I had to leave the English essay blank and lose my spot at my dream university? From what Anna just said, it all made sense. It wasn't an accident. Her face turned paler with every word I spoke, until she was as white as a sheet. Her voice was a pathetic whisper. I just wanted you to stay with me. I walked up to her, and with all the strength I had, I slapped her across the face. You're despicable. You're a sewer rat. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then, she turned and disappeared into the night. I touched my cheek. It was wet. It was the first time I had cried in this new life. Not for Anna, for myself, and for a love that was a lie. A pair of white sneakers appeared in my vision. I looked up. Maya was holding out a tissue. The dim streetlight made her face soft and blurry. I took it. She held her umbrella over my head, even though the rain had stopped. Noah, do you know why I love physics? She didn't wait for an answer. Because it has the power to bend time. Have you ever heard of quantum entanglement? She smiled softly. Quantum entanglement isn't bound by space or time. Two particles, with no prior connection, can become intertwined, linked together no matter how far apart they are. I froze. In my past life, I had clicked on that research paper about parallel universes. At the bottom was an email address, inviting collaboration. During one of my sleepless nights, tormented by what Anna had done, I sent an email. I got a reply almost immediately. I still remember the words, Mr. Carter, would you like to be part of an experiment? That email brought me here. Was the person who sent it Maya? Esther de Her. She reached out her hand. Don't worry about how you got here. Just focus on what you want. In the infinite river of parallel universes, there's one where you get to be happy. It felt like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I reached out and took her warm hand. She pulled me to my feet. Noah Carter, you just fly. I've got your back. After that rainy night, Anna was out sick from school. I kept thinking about what Maya said and started researching parallel universes, though it was all theoretical. Then, when I was in a library, I saw that a copy of Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time had been checked out recently. The checkout card showed my name from just a few weeks ago, and below my name was Maya's. But this was the first time I had ever picked up this book. A wild, audacious idea formed in my mind. After a moment of stunned silence, I quietly put the book back on the shelf and went back to my studies. To my surprise, Ethan seemed like a different person. He even organized a class visit to see Anna while she was sick and spent time taking care of her at the hospital. I sometimes overheard him muttering things like, "Don't die," and "I'll make it up to you." I didn't know what was going on between them, but it seemed like a good thing. Anna's dream was coming true. Her crush was finally within reach. When she came back to school, she stopped seeking me out. She was still a loner, silent and invisible. But at the start of our senior year, there was shocking news. Over the summer, Anna had entered a singing competition and become an overnight sensation. The songs that made her famous in her past life were released early. She was suddenly a celebrity at our school. In an interview, she said, "I want to stand on the highest stage side by side with the person I love." Ethan became her biggest supporter, even skipping class to attend her competitions and TV show tapings. They were rarely at school, but they became the school's legendary couple. Everyone talked about how perfect they were for each other, a match made in heaven. I ignored it. I would get texts from an unknown number, just snippets of lyrics or random, out-of-context phrases. I deleted them all, but I had a growing sense of unease, like she was planning something big. Before I could figure out, Ethan came to find me. Last time, I had made an enemy of him by defending Anna. He tried to mess with me, but my good grades and stable family background, plus my unwillingness to back down, made him give up. This time, we had barely spoken. I couldn't imagine why he was talking to me. "So you're the one Anna can't get over," he said with a condescending sneer. "Doesn't matter. So what if you were there for her? When she died, I was the only one she was thinking about." He clearly had his memories back too. He thought I wouldn't understand, and his arrogance grew. He even tried to throw a punch at me. "And don't get any ideas. You can't touch me now." I caught his fist and shoved it away. He yelped in pain and started cursing. Carter, you better watch yourself. I can have you taken care of. I was taller than him, and I looked down at him with disdain. Get lost. He was about to come at me again, but someone stepped in. It was Anna. Ethan's face instantly changed, becoming soft and gentle as he stood by her side. What are you doing here? Anna's eyes were on him, but she didn't say anything. I was tired of their drama. I packed my bag to leave, but Ethan blocked my way again. You think you're so smart, bookworm? You really think you did that well on your own? My hand froze. He continued, stop pretending. You're pathetic. What was his problem? Just as I was about to speak, a bright, clear voice cut through the tension. Someone who's barely going to make it to community college has some nerve yelling at the top student in our year. If you don't have a mirror, you can at least find a puddle. It was Maya. She walked to my side and looked at the two of them, clicking her tongue. Oh, it's the bottom of the class. Never mind. We're not on the same intellectual level. Ethan lunged at Maya, but she just stared him down, her eyes cold. You really think you can mess with my family? She started helping me pack my bag. Anna just watched silently, her face unreadable, but I saw her knuckles turn white as she clenched her fists. As she pulled Ethan away, she looked back at me and mouthed something. I didn't care what it was. On the way home, Maya said to me, Noah, if you ever have a problem, you call me. My family has bodyguards, you know. Don't let anything mess up your security clearance. I nodded, then asked, why do you care about my security clearance? Her cheeks turned a faint pink. I'm just reminding you not to do anything stupid. How did she know I was applying to Caltech? In the final months before graduation, Anna and Ethan returned to school to study for finals. Maya was on high alert, terrified something would go wrong. But surprisingly, Ethan left me alone. During the 2 days of exams, Maya stuck to me like glue, practically wanting to eat and sleep by my side. She even had her family's bodyguards posted near my house and refused to let me eat anything that wasn't from a sealed package she brought herself. Thanks to her intense protection, the exams went by smoothly. When it was over, I knew. This time, I was on the right path. That night, at the class graduation party, Maya quietly pulled me aside and confessed. My family is respectable. I'm good-looking. I have a great figure. My grades are good. I have a clean record. And my family has no skeletons in the closet for 3 generations. I'm a physics major. So, would you consider me? I finally understood her text message from so long ago, after she was reported by Anna. What way to confess? Seeing me hesitate, Maya rushed on. It's okay if you say no. I know you're dedicated to your research. I won't hold you back. And even if you change your mind later, I'll still be here, creating more options for you. I asked her, Maya, the person from the other universe, was it you? She froze. I saw the library book. I'm guessing the 2 timelines must have crossed over somehow. That's why the book I checked out in the other timeline appeared here. Because the timelines are unstable, the 4 of us have memories from both, right? You said quantum entanglement can link people. Maybe in a less scientific way, you could call it karma. That's why the 4 of us remembered. So in that other timeline, were we only connected by that book? From what Maya told me, I learned about a secret crush. She had noticed me during my freshman year when I gave a speech as a student representative. She started paying attention to me, walking the same routes home, observing my life. She got interested in physics after competing in a science fair in sophomore year and started checking out books on the subject from the library right after I did. She fell in love with the idea that quantum mechanics could make time travel possible and believed that parallel universes had to intersect. But back then, I was with Anna. So she buried her feelings and poured herself into her research. As a doctoral student, she discovered a way to potentially traverse timelines. Then she received my email. She was the one who replied, the one who brought me here. But it was an experiment, and it had risks. Like the fact that we might be stuck here forever with memories of another life. So that day you were hurt, and you made me save you. That was on purpose. Maya immediately denied it. No, that was real. I was a bit of a troublemaker in middle school, but I cleaned up my act and tested into your honors class. Because every choice leads to a different outcome. This time, my outcome was Maya. Of course, my research had a selfish motive, she admitted. I just hope that in one of your other choices, I might have a chance to be in it. After a long silence, I finally told her, Maya, even though we've known each other for 3 years, I'm not sure if I'm capable of loving someone again. I'm afraid if I say yes, I'll be unfair to you. The color drained from Maya's face. I know. I'm not forcing you. You can't force love, she said, trying to give herself an out. But I smiled and pulled her into a hug. But I'm willing to try. So, my dear girlfriend, would you be willing to explore another possibility with me? For a second, Maya's whole body went stiff. Then she let out a whoop of joy. Yes, she screamed, hugging me back and kissing me several times. Someone called Maya over for a drink. How did you know Noah said yes to me? She announced to her friend. And someone else asked, Maya, what college are you going to? Doesn't matter, Noah's my boyfriend now. Another friend called her over for a photo. This is the best. My crush of so many years is finally with me. Soon, the entire class knew that Maya had confessed to me and I had said yes. They also knew that the cool, aloof beauty was now smiling so hard her face might crack. Only Anna, the famous pop star, sat silently amidst the celebration, her shoulders slumping lower and lower. That night, I received a text from an unknown number. Your dream. I'll protect it this time, too. I didn't reply, but I soon found out what she meant. A week later, during a live-streamed fan event, Anna personally pushed Ethan from his pedestal and into hell. At that point, Ethan considered himself Anna's unofficial boyfriend. He was at all her events, and she never denied their connection. But when the host asked him if he had anything to say after graduation, the screen behind him lit up with photo after photo of him bullying Anna in high school. The shaky, secretly filmed footage showed every humiliating moment, every time he had left her curled up in a ball, a pale, fragile mess. The crowd gasped. Ethan, horrified, rushed the stage, screaming to turn it off. No one listened. Everyone was looking at Anna with pity. They didn't understand why she would do this. For a rising star, this was career suicide, even if she was the victim.